Welcome to 𝐄𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐂. We talk about investing, finance, and professional development. So current time of 9:15 a.m. on Eastern Time on July 19th on Tuesday. Hope you guys have a great, week so far, and a good Monday so far. Yesterday was a relatively robust Monday. Across the board was relatively green. But as of this morning on Tuesday, I'll say it's kind of opening on the mixed bag. The equity side is still opening up on a green note across the board right now, up 1% on Dow Jones, S&P, NASDAQ, while oil is spiking a little bit again above $100. And also 10-year yields is also spiking as well at 3% at the moment. And obviously, we're going to get more earnings, in a kind of a mixed bag, throughout this week. Obviously, a collections of financial sector stocks like bank stocks, to logistics stocks, to consumer retail CPG goods stocks, to aerospace and defense, to airline company stocks as well. So it's a kind of an industry agnostic flavor that we're going to be getting this week, which is good, right? We ideally would like to have a little bit more of a neutral tone depicting how the economy looking like, at least in a foreshadow perspective, for us to get that inference on what will the FOMC meeting result would look like, or at least in terms of foreshadowing what would be the ideal anticipated pressure and the results ultimately, right? And looking at the news front, I would say obviously yesterday was a robust day, being counterbalanced by the negative week, end of the week last week, due to the two negative, I'll say three collectively. One was obviously the negative CPI report. Secondly is with respect to the negative PPI report that also came out. And then obviously with respect to bank earnings, JP Morgan and Citi both reported negative earnings due to their leverage problem that they're having. And obviously, and also decrease and reductions on the M&A front. And then now it's being counterbalanced on Monday, obviously yesterday, with Bank of America and obviously Goldman Sachs reported positive earnings exceeding Wall Street expectation. And if you look really closely in terms of what's driving the top line to go up, is healthy for the bank because they're making more money. But the reason on why they're making more money is because they are able to charge a higher commission rates for the debts that they're providing to their customers, right? So that's not a healthy economical dynamic, if you can understand what I'm getting at, right? Just because the banks are making more money providing higher debt rates, it's not because the consumers want to pay a higher debt rate. It's just because the rates are higher, but people are reluctant to be buying or paying a higher debt payment on a monthly basis. So the banks are getting benefit from it. But that's a negative sentiment, right? It doesn't last long, right? They're not stupid. They don't want to be paying a premium all the time, but they have to be reluctantly, right? So we're gonna see more news on the corporate earnings front coming up. Obviously, I would say the rebound or whatever that you call it is not sustainable, and the technical clearly speaks so. And you guys have been following through these videos for quite some time. You guys know exactly why we are saying this, right? I would say, especially we also have to kind of mitigate our mindset in a way that we are in a bear market, and a rebound, aka just like a bear market bounce, are typically more robust than during the bull market, because it's that reactionary reflux in a way that we get, right? And then other news that I'm seeing is pretty much it. It's more just depictions around the crypto company that fell on his face, Celsius. It seems like there are some former employees speaking up around the company has been basically dying for years now, and it's been written on the walls for a long time. So the bankruptcy was not a surprise. I mean, whatever. And then with respect to, it seems like Janet Yellen is also speaking again. It seems like they are U.S. is working with its allies country onto using something called the French shoring to give supply chain a boost. Obviously, supply chain issues is something that we're struggling with, so it seems like the government is working with allied countries onto mitigating the frictions that we have among trade countries. Okay, so let's just dive right into the technical to see what's going on right now with respect to recording time of approximately 10 minutes away from market opening. We are at 1563, so technically we are at a resistance level of 1550. But with respect to is this sustainable for us to stay at this level, right? You could see that we have dragged it for a long time, forming I would say a golden cross ever since we got to like a bottom, right, when we were at 850 at one point, and then as we got up, higher and higher and higher, we've been dragged it for basically about a month now, and at the same time, with respect to as we broke through the resistance level of 60, we got to the next level of 70 out of 70. So right now we are at the 70 out of 70 on the daily. You know, you always buy when it's at a good setup, right? In your opinion, do you think this is a good setup for you to be buying at the moment? It's up to you, right? I would personally not do so because like it's relatively overbought. Well, firstly, and secondly, the levels of leaps up, the risk versus reward ratio is not ideal. And thirdly, MACD has been dragged for a long time. However, weekly and monthly are looking quite nice. If you look at on a monthly, you could see how dragged down we are. And on a weekly, we're about to form a golden cross. So that means like weeks and months out, as we obviously digest all of these negativity or positivity, however you want to think about it, as we approach the FOMC meeting, we ideally would see some sort of a correction, knowing the fact that we kind of have to fix this, right? This pump, this rally that we've had so far is not sustainable. So we kind of have to come down to more of a normal ground, come back to earth a little bit, and then replenish the momentum. But that's good, right? Because like it seems like we have been forming a relatively good foundation as a platform. So as we come back down and then recuperate, that means that we're going to be forming a higher high. So that's ideal in terms of us seeing a market reversal from here. And then Bitcoin is down 1% so far, dragged it for a long time, getting resisted at the 57 out of 70. Weekly and monthly all look bullish actually. So same thing in terms of how we've been depicting on Ethereum so far. And then Classic, obviously, it gave up everything that we have had yesterday, it looks like. Not all of it, but like you can see that clearly we were trying to get up to $30, but you could see that we're just like kind of consolidating at the next support level. This green candle is basically breaching the whole entire gap that we've had so far. Right now, the 80 out of 70, so you know what that means. Like probably shorting it or taking some profit would make a lot of sense for you. Dogecoin is relatively flat, but you can see that we're 80 out of 70 right now. So very overbought. Cardano at 57, so just basically meeting in the resistance level, right? Very logical. Solana up 12%. We basically try to get up to the next level of 49, with the 670 out of 70 right now. So very overbought. XRP, similarly, right? Just trading on a sideways fashion, getting overbought at 60 out of 70 soon. Polkadot's up 5% so far at 787. So like reaching to the next level would be it's gonna get quite overbought soon as well. Algorand 65 out of 70, so like we're gonna get blocked eventually. And then Shiba Inu, we are at the blockade area right now, 61 out of 70. So MACTAC is just cooling down as we were trying to get up to $1 earlier, with the 76 out of 70 looking for an apex to be formed momentarily. And then lastly for AVAX, up 5% so far. We're meeting with the exact resistance level of 25. So right now the 66 out of 70 quite overbought, right? So like I would say across the board, on all the coins, like from key coins to altcoin, we're quite overbought and highly inflated in the short-term perspective. So daily is still negative, right? But on a weekly and monthly, we should technically see some rebound. Okay, and this week is going to be quite flavorful or colorful, if you may. So we watch out on the earning reports on the corporate front, because these are major needle driver depending on what stocks is talking about what, right? And I know like some of the giants like Tesla is reporting earnings, and also like some airline industry companies are going to be reporting earnings as well. So that will give us a little bit more of a colorful picture as we are painting this picture ahead of the FOMC meeting. So appreciate you. Have a good rest of the day and take care.